Interesting we are going to see and witness today regarding our Python coding. Well, what do you think basically swapping means? Well, let me tell you by moving towards our coding area. Well, welcome back again to our coding area. Well, now we are going to see something interesting. Well, as told you before, what is swapping case? Now let's see what we are going to see in our swapping case. Here I am going to discuss two types of cases regarding swapping case. One case would be longer than the other one. Without any ado, let's start. Let's say this would be the case 1. Okay, so basically swapping means changing of values of different variables, such as let's say I have a variable a which is of 18, which is having number 18, b which is having let's say 78, quite big number. Well, now let's see how does this work. Let's say a is equals to a plus b. Here we are going to make some condition so that we can easily at the end get the response that we are going to try. b is equals to uh, b is equals to a minus b. Now let's say that a is also equals to a minus b, because we are swapping, so that uh, so that's why I have written it like this, that a is a plus first of all a is a plus b, then a is a minus b. Okay, now let's see what happens when we print out both of these variables, a and print b. Let's see what happens when we are going to print it. So here we have the output, which is 78 and 18. Let me first of all make these ones comment so that you don't get mixed up while writing it. Over here, yes, here you go. Well, now let's again run it, and now let's see. Yep, here we have it. So a is now given the value of 78 and b is given the value of 18. Well, now you are going to understand why. First of all, I declared a is equals to a plus b, and then b is declaring as a minus b, and then I again declared a is equals to a minus b. Well, that's because when first of all I declared a is equals to a plus b and b is equals to a minus b, it was because I was giving some defined value to each of the variables. But lastly, as we are discussing swapping case, I defined the value which was previously defined to b in order to swap the values of our variables defined before. Here you can see a is now given the value of 78, which was supposed to be of b, and b is given the value of 18. Now let's consider another case, the same with the same values, but you know what, with less coding lines. Well, now let me define over here. Let me comment it out for you so that you don't get mixed up. Okay, let me define or comment the whole one. Okay, now let's say a is equals to 13 and b is equals to 38. Now we are going to use our knowledge, or you can say our intelligence over here, and basically see how we can use a single line code and do the same operation as done in the case 1. Now let's say a comma b, which are the two variables defined before. We are not going to define over here some operations to it, rather we are going to say a comma b is equals to b comma a. So now let's see how does Python deals with this code. and what would be our output? Simply, now let's print A and print B, as these both are different values, so we are going to print A and print B separately. Now let's see what happens when you print them out. Well, here you go. Here you can see that using a single code of line, we have done the same thing which we were doing in the case 1. Well, here you can see we have used our simple knowledge, which is a comma b is equals to b comma a, which here we are defining a as b and b as a by using a simple line of code. Well, that's how easy it is to use Python. Even if you are not familiar with any other programming language and you are here first time for learning Python, well, you are at the right place then, because Python is such a similar and basic language that you can even learn it without having any information regarding any other programming language. Well, I hope that you found the swapping case quite interesting, and I hope that it would make your concepts quite clear regarding Python code. Well, that's all from my side till today. In our first video, we basically saw some basics regarding Python. We got familiar with what is Python, some of its history and basic code lines. Well, we also saw some important things such as Python as a calculator and swapping case. Well, Python is such Python or regardless Python, programming is such a thing which requires more and more practice, and without practice you can never say you are an expert in coding. Well, try solving problems regarding these cases which we have learned today, and you will enjoy learning Python. So basically, while learning any programming language, all you need is practice, practice, and practice, and some of your interest too, so that you can get more and more ahead of what the world is recently now doing. So that's all from my side. I hope you like the video, and I hope you are now getting some of the information, not all of it, obviously. No, some of the information regarding what is Python. You are going to get some interest regarding Python. Well, see you in the next video. And in the next video, we are going to discuss the variable expressions regarding Python. The next video is going to be quite interesting regarding it. Well, see you over there. Till then, Allah Hafiz.